Namaskar. Good morning to all the dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and professionals, students. So, all of you are from various backgrounds, and I'm an engineer, and a professor. Actually, I worked in the area of high performance computing and built some of the world's fastest supercomputers in both US and in India. So, my background is a little different. And but then I have actually, for the last few years, I've been focusing on the use of AI for social benefit. So that is why we have set up this new national research center called AI and HPC Research Center at IIT Bhubaneswar. Actually, we have people both in the IIT Bhubaneswar as well as multiple other IITs and other institutes in the nation and around the world. And there we focus on how we can use AI for medicine to predict diseases, treat patients, or how to use AI in agriculture. How to help farmers to increase their yield, right? And then say AI in transportation. How do we ensure transportation safety using a lot of data and AI algorithms? And how do we protect environment, right, or predict weather, right? So that's what we do at the AI HPC Research Center. I also had the opportunity to work at one of the world's top research centers called the IBM T.J. Watson Research Center in New York. And when we talk about AI, actually, just last few years, maybe 5-6 years after ChatGPT came out, I think people have become very aware of AI. But then the term AI, artificial intelligence, and the genesis of artificial intelligence happened in the mid-50s. And this is actually a bunch of scientists and professors from, say, Stanford, Dartmouth, Princeton, IBM, T.J. Watson. A very small group of people, they met and termed coined the term artificial intelligence or AI to describe the future set of things, applications that could mimic the human behavior, right? So I will not go that much back, but it was a privilege for me to have worked for the Premium Research Center that was actually involved in the first set of definitions of AI. So I have I've given 10 minutes. So let me quickly go through. So I'll tell you maybe a couple stories, in a very layman's language. You all know now, are familiar with large language models, generative AI, and of course fake news, deep fakes, and a lot of misinformation, a lot of that. So how does AI work, right? So think of a child, imagine a child, so AI actually learns, right? AI is modeled after human behavior, human learning. So imagine a child, the child, a little one, like a 1 year, 2 year old, we teach the child learns, like we tell, okay, this grass is green, sky is blue, rose is red, and so on. And we give data points to the child, right? And these data points are assimilated in the child's brain, which has got about 100 billion neurons. And the neurons get connected based on this data. And neurons actually get connected using electrical signals, chemical signals. And whenever the child learns something new based on the data, then the child actually, there are certain neural networks are formed. They go to the memory, right? And when I ask a question, for example, I ask the question, ask the child to fill in the gap, right? Okay, the grass is, and the child will complete the sentence saying green, right? How? Because the child has learned from previous data, hearing from hundreds of people, looking at hundreds of pictures. Those are data points. And those have gone to the neurons, and the neurons have formed neural networks based on this data to enable the child to predict the next word or the next sentence given a prompt. So the grass is a prompt, and the child generates the next word, green. The sky is, that's the prompt, and the child generates the next word, blue. That's exactly how the large language models work, the generative AI, and a lot of these things work. They take some input and they generate one word, 10 words, sentences, paragraphs, movies. Right? But then, how does the AI engine work? This is exactly how the child's training, learning happens. We mimic the same kind of things using computer programs called statistical learning or the machine learning models. Right? So the machine learning models or the deep learning models, they mimic the behavior of a human neuron by using a set of mathematical formulas or the statistical formulas. That each neuron that is simulated in the AI or machine learning will take multiple signals and then use a set of statistical equations, matrix multiplications, and actually step function to say, okay, if this output of this neuron is this much, then I predict that the output will be this much. Prediction, right? Statistics. And then there will be thousands of inputs coming to thousands of neurons, or millions of input coming to thousands of neurons, and they're connected in layers, and at the output, that the output of the generation or prediction depends on the input you gave, and then these mathematical equations. So that's the model. The mathematical equations is the model, and that the algorithm that actually computes these mathematical formulations based on the data, that's the machine learning model. Right? And the today's large language models or generative AI models like ChatGPT, Llama, and now DeepSeek and others, they are based on the same neural network model. Right? The neural network model is the heart of the AI engine, which also is the heart of our own human brains. Right? So, so this is how AI model works. Right? All kinds of models. But then you see that whatever data we give, that's the most important thing in the output of the AI engine. If we teach the child the grass is blue and the sky is green, the child will say the grass is blue, right? So that's exactly how this whole world of generative AI works. If you feed right kind of data, you get right kind of output, right kind of news, right kind of information, right kind of prediction, right kind of summaries, right? So data is key. So the the genesis or the cause or the what causes misinformation and fake news is fake data, right? So if the AI engine is trained on data that has been created artificially by robots or by demagogues like many of these world leaders today, as you very well know. So they would actually generate wrong information, and they will be replicated by their followers. And that wrong information goes to the digital world, and then AI picks up those, and then actually it gives you wrong information. Right? So that's how rumors spread, because this wrong data is fed or misinformation is fed, and these kind of things that causes things like social revolutions or rebellions, right? Misinformation, suicides, right? Depression, right? Because of all kinds of misinformation in social media, they're generated by these AI engines, also called recommender systems. There is a documentary on Netflix. It's called Social Dilemma. So this Netflix documentary actually summarizes the the problem of misinformation and the social evils caused by misinformation. So if you have watched it, great. If you have not watched it, everybody in all walks of life, especially people who deal with communication and media and psychology, I recommend that you watch Social Dilemma. It's a 2020 2020 documentary movie on Netflix. Right? So what the problem that this movie, Social Dilemma, tries to depict is, so what is the social dilemma? Is that the interests of an individual or an individual organization or a business may not be the same as the interest of the overall society. So what do we do? That's the dilemma, right? So individuals, they try to spread their ideologies, right? Like the example of one of the top countries' president says, right? Or the other leaders, right? So or the ideologues, I mean, on both sides, left and right. So someone tries to propagate their ideologies or ideas, they can make use of all the social networks, like WhatsApp, right, Instagram, to mobilize people to say the same things. That's the rumor. Right? And then when it gets into the social media, that gets fed as data to the AI engine. And and then the businesses, they try to sell their products. Like even the OTT platforms, right? They want to sell something. The movies, they try to sell something. Even people, the quacks, they try to sell something. They will try to generate, sometimes, not everybody, unethical ones, right? They will try to generate information that suits their interest, but may not be may actually be detrimental to the interests of the society, of the common people, right? So. So the wrong information being created by individuals, organizations, or individual businesses is geared toward the gain, the self-interest, whereas the society's interests are different. They need the right kind of information, right kind of output, right kind of guidance, right kind of recommendations. Right? So there was and also this Netflix documentary was based on an MIT study in 2018 that actually that proved that lies or misinformation, they travel 6 times faster than truth. Actually, there is a saying that a lie can travel half the world while truth is putting on its shoes, right? And the MIT study actually proved that by doing a lot of talking to a lot of people and taking actually data from the internet. This kind of information, misinformation, we see the examples like election interference or actually even sometimes rebellion, right? So these are caused by this false information and depression among the young kids. The false information and the false narrative about society and how they should interact, right? What is the ideal for them? Those false narratives that causes a lot of social upheavals, right? So actually, one of the top scientists, Jeffrey Hinton. Actually, some people they call him the father of modern AI. So Hinton was a professor at University of Toronto who later joined Google DeepMind, right? And he earned a lot of money, millions and millions, and he also got the Nobel Prize in Physics. He was a computer scientist getting Nobel Prize in Physics for having made this neural network model popular. He didn't invent it. There were a lot of people who did a lot of work. But then, so he's not the only father of AI. There are multiple fathers and mothers of AI, but he's considered one of the top leaders in recent times. So Jeffrey Hinton, he saw this bad impact of AI and he left his job at Google, a very high-paying job at Google a couple years back, to build awareness among society, in the society, among people, among policymakers, among journalists, among scientists, technologists, right? About the bad impact of AI through. So then how to tame this AI, bad behavior of AI? So you can actually do a lot of government regulations and then use technology to prevent this kind of misinformation or how AI engine interprets the misinformation, right? And so at the end, actually, it is the human oversight of what AI does. That's critical, Right? So I'll just tell you one little story from my own experience, how AI has evolved, right? From, say, we used to have good information and then misinformation came in and we got a lot of bad information, and then how now slowly the AI engines are trying to correct it. So it's around, I think, 2020, 2021, I saw a little message in one of my college WhatsApp groups saying that Indira Gandhi's husband, Firoz Gandhi, was named Firoz Khan, and he was born Firoz Khan. He was Muslim, and then whole family. There was a picture of Indira Gandhi with the in-laws. They are all Muslims. Then I thought, what is this? I have learned all my life as a student that Firoz Gandhi was Parsi, right? And then I asked my friend, what is this misinformation you are spreading all over the WhatsApp? Everybody is doing that. He said, no, you do a Google lookup. That was 2021, I think. I said, okay, oh, really? So Google lookups tells that Indira Gandhi's husband, Firoz Gandhi, is Muslim, not Parsi. I did a Google lookup. And he was right. You do Google that time in 2020, 2021, you do a Google lookup on, about Indira Gandhi's husband, it would give hundreds of articles saying how Indira Gandhi's husband, Firoz Gandhi, was Firoz Khan, and the whole family was Muslim. And I said, no, this is wrong. I just don't believe Google. The Google search engine is messed up because it's starting to use AI, and AI is not, not responsible yet. So I asked him, okay, go look up credible sources, like go look up the archives of Times of India, archives of India Today. Look up biographies, look up history books by eminent professionals. He was not convinced. Then actually I just took him to all those websites and showed him, look, this person was Parsi. So then what caused this Google engine to really spread misinformation? It is the vested interests. They spread this rumor and they replicated. They had the mass media tool in their disposal to be able to spread rumors. And remember the MIT study. Lie travels 6 times faster than truth. So that is what caused, this was confused the Google search engines. AI was just starting to be implemented in the Google search engines. That's why Google search engines gave all this wrong information. Then, after looking at these authentic publications, my friend somehow grudgingly accepted, yeah, maybe he was Parsi, right? So, if you go do a Google lookup today, Google has corrected that. You do a Google lookup today, just go and try. So Google will come back saying that there were rumors that Firoz Gandhi was Firoz Khan and Muslim, not Parsi, but that rumor was wrong, and then it gives the whole family history. So 2021, so before 2021 you got correct information. 2021 when AI started giving wrong information because of this vested interest, individual interest, groups' interests. So the AI engines were kind of misguided for a few years. And then these regulations came in, that what Jeffrey Hinton is now advocating everywhere, awareness, right, technology, how to tame AI. So Google, it modified its search engines. That okay, not only whatever data, not only the volume of data that should determine the output, but the authenticity of the data. So Google actually corrected a lot of this information by going to Wikipedia, which is a peer-reviewed site, and then the authentic site. So that is actually, they gave higher score to the authenticity of a source of news or information. And that got superimposed on these volumes of data. So the AI engines could say that, okay, this is misinformation, rumor. I give priority to the authentic sources. That is how Google has corrected this. Today, please go look up. Firoz Gandhi is Parsi. So what I want to tell you is that, yes, any new technology had disadvantages. So now actually the AI technology is going through a lot of changes. So where there's kind of turmoil everywhere. People don't understand what it is doing. It's chaos, it's confusion. But then by applying the right kind of technology, by giving the humans the control and then having regulations and also self-regulation by all these big multinationals, how they create AI engines, things can change, like the Google search engine changed in 4 or 5 years, right? So all I want to say is that, yes, there is turmoil, there is chaos, but for all my media friends, there is hope. Thank you.